So tonight I've got some breaking news. The U.S. Supreme Court issued an order striking down the eviction moratorium. That's right. After over a year and a half, landlords are now free to commence or to continue eviction actions, even in counties with a high rate of COVID-19 transmission. Now, you might recall that the last eviction moratorium ended on July 31st. It was replaced by a new moratorium starting at the beginning of August by the CDC, but it only applied to counties where there was a high rate of COVID-19 transmission, especially the new Delta variant. Well, even though that moratorium was supposed to last until October 4th, tonight the U.S. Supreme Court struck it down. They issued an order that basically stating that the Constitution still applies, even in a pandemic, and that only Congress and not the CDC has the authority to pass a law that would prohibit evictions. This means that landlords are now free to start or continue evictions against tenants who are behind on the rent, and tenants are now at risk of being evicted from their homes. But there are ways to stop or prevent an eviction. And that's why the Legal Education Center created a free guide on how to avoid getting evicted. The guide is based on Michigan law and talks about what to do if somebody's behind on the rent payments, or assistance programs to keep people in their homes, and what people need to know to avoid getting evicted. The guide further explains the eviction process and how to respond to an eviction summons and complaint. It talks about judgments, it talks about common defenses against eviction and ways to slow down the eviction process, as well as the most effective way to avoid getting evicted. Now, to download the guide, just click the link below or go to howtoavoideviction.com. That's howtoavoideviction.com, one word. The guide is free, and people who download the guide will not receive any solicitations, just free, useful information about evictions, as well as other legal and financial matters. So again, to download the free guide on how to avoid eviction, simply click the link below or go to howtoavoideviction.com.